And welcome everybody to another evening here at the Overwatch Watchers Brawl. Today we're going to be hopefully having a couple good games for you, but today we're going to be starting off with OWB2 and Team Ragnor. Team Ragnor, of course, coming off of their win from yesterday off of Cardinal Esports. OWB2 also going to be fighting alongside them in the losers bracket to hang in there and hopefully make it to the finals. For your casting entertainment today, I'm going to be Sir Waltham, this time accompanied by Ragnor. Ragnor, do you want to go ahead and say hello?
Hello!
Fantastic. And as usual, folks, before we go ahead and dive right into it, we do have a little bit of an interview here. We have Raylini from, it's looking like OWB2, going to be in chat with us. Ray, you want to go ahead and say hello?
Hi, guys.
Fantastic. Now, we were talking just a little bit before the cast got started here. Now, you are the off-tank for OWB2, is that correct?
Right.
Fantastic. What would you say is your kind of favorite off-tank to play?
Well, I specialize with D.Va, but I play D.Va and Zarya and Ragnor, and a bit of Roadhog.
Right on. I have to be keeping an eye out for that. Now, how's your team kind of feeling going into this game, you guys? You guys getting excited?
We were a little nervous this morning because Glizzy told us that his controller broke, but luckily he said that his brother was able to lend him his Wiimote, so we're actually feeling pretty good coming in.
Yes, the classic Wiimote clutch, ready to come see some fantastic play here. Have to be keeping an eye out for Glizzy, hoping no shenanigans happen. But as I mentioned before, we are in the losers bracket. Obviously meaning you guys had to have lost a round somewhere along the lines. How are you guys feeling, I guess, over the last couple of games? Have you guys kind of been preparing for this game moving forward?
Yeah, we've been practicing a lot. We were most nervous for the match that we had against Reckless a couple days ago, but after we won that match, we've been feeling like really confident. We're hoping to have a rematch against Pinata Nation in the finals. So we're feeling pretty.
Well, I know a lot of people might like to see that. Now, of course, if you've been watching any of the streams, right, you might know that we do the MVP vote for the games at the very end of the stream. Is there anybody perhaps the viewers at home should be keeping an eye out for on OWB2 just to kind of keep in the back of their mind there? You can say yourself if you want.
Actually, I think Stringy Place is a really strong player. I don't think he's been getting enough love in the cast that we've watched, so I think that if you guys want to vote for somebody stringy, would be a good pick.
Absolutely. Well, those of you at home, you heard it here. Keep an eye out for Stringy. Now, Ray, I'm not going to keep you for much longer. I know you got to get back into your team comms, but thank you very much for joining us for a brief few questions.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Now, we are going to be going on to Lijiang Tower for our first map. Ragon, what do you think about Lijiang? Do you have any angles that you particularly like about it?
On this meta, Lijiang Tower, I do see Far Mercy being played on this map. So I would be, pretty surprised if they don't run any Far Mercy or Goats here.
Yeah, I think that is a strong possibility. I think that Command Center, you tend to like to see that Ryan Zarya in it, so I definitely can agree. We're probably going to be seeing a little bit less traditional Goats comps with that Pharah variant, at least for one map. So who knows? We'll just have to see how it shakes out here.
We will see indeed.
However, as we get unfolded, it looks like the first map will be Gardens, the perhaps epitome of Pharah play when it comes to Lijiang. A lot of open sight lines. And Ragon, you want to go ahead and give us any other kind of insight as to what else we might see besides just that hard pharmacy combo?
Well, other than Far Mercy, we might even see a Winston dive comp because this map definitely has a lot of boot potential, hook potential. So maybe a Roadhog, a Lucio would definitely be great as well. So you get those environmental kills, and the 20% in the outbank is definitely a big plus.
Yeah, it definitely would be that way. We are just waiting a little bit before we get the teams unveiled here, or revealed here as it is. But overall, I'm excited to see what we're going to be having popping up in the lineups here. And as we get going, we're going to be seeing what looks like a little bit of a goats-esque comp here. What do you think?
Don't get baited.
Well, so far, you're right. I absolutely should have learned my lesson by now.
Well, fuck, I don't get baited. So, Beach is definitely on that Winston. I don't think he's gonna switch. He looks prepared to jump out of his spawn. So we're gonna see a Winston Goats matchup here, a mirror matchup, shall we say.
Indeed, and we're going to see both those teams rolling out of spawn in rather quick order, as Dive is wont to do. Both taking that outside angle, and the contact is going to be made pretty hard here. It's going to be Beach jumping very firmly into the backline. Lunaru actually getting booped by Unicorn Syrup, and then Stringy Place almost getting booped as well. Not quite going to be falling off though. Lucio being able to wall ride, saving the bacon a little bit as it is. Jack's Cast going to be taking out Glizzy, and it looks like that's going to be a pullback for all three for the first fight.
Well, I don't know why they didn't go clean up. They had a 4v6 advantage, and they didn't seem to, push that advantage to to make it be the upper hand.
Indeed, hopefully they will improve on these next few pushes. However, with Goofum going down first, that is going to be a tough look for Team Ragnor. And then Beach following short order, it is looking a little bit grim for the red team here. Tubsock going to be leveling the playing field just a bit when Dark falls. And right now the kills are going back and forth. Tubsock going to be getting ejected, however, and the grab coming out from Mrs. Nesbit, and that's going to be the cleanup coming through for all three and the point conversion as well.
Well, at the start, the Lunaru saw that, obviously the Mirror Grizzly on her brigade was low, so obviously the poke damage that was done with the Zenyatta orbs played a big here, and Goats, they see a little person, they just click, left click, sorry, and then they die.
Absolutely, you got to see that decisiveness come through. A lot of ults perhaps online for the Team Ragnor. However, we're going to be seeing them come out. Raylene going to be eating Spark's grab. That is going to be a very nice ult neutralization there. Guffum taking out Dark, and we are seeing Beach pop that Primal, just trying to bully that Zarya, played by Mrs. Nesbit, into the corner, trying to keep them away, prevent that damage from really coming through. Glizzy going to be taking out their counterpart in Goofum, however, will also fall to Jax. And the kills are going a little bit back and forth here, folks, but it looks like so far it's going to be going in favor of all three. And as Tubsock's going to be getting knocked off, they will still maintain control.
Right here, I would see, the red team, obviously Team Ragnor, is going to switch pathing and go to the right side, because obviously it's not working going through the bridge. So boy, you have to. Oh, let's have a look. I think. Oh no, they have not learned their lesson. They're going through the same pathing. Okay, a lost fight, I would say.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing that Hammond come out, and that Zarya grab coming out right onto the corner of that little wall barrier area, making it a double Diva Bomb fight for both sides. However, the kills are now starting to go in favor of Alt 3, with all the supports getting laid out for Team Ragnor here. And with that, it looks like it's going to be an exfiltration for Ragnor. They may have one more push before they lose it.
Definitely, because the Hammond doesn't really contribute to anything right here except stalling on point. Oh, fails to touch. Unlucky.
They will not quite be there in time. That means that it will be Alt 3 getting the first point onto this King of the Hill map here. Or control point, if you prefer. But I'm interested to see if Ragnor is going to be changing their strategy going into Command Center.
I mean, they'll have to. They definitely should now know that they're shit at Rhine Goats against this obviously better Rhine Goats team. So sorry, Winston Goats team. So they need to switch it up here. They need to run something that counts as the Winston Goats, something like a Sombra Goats would definitely help a lot.
And we will see if they will learn their lesson as the teams are going to get rolling here. As mentioned, the Rhine Goats going to be coming out from both sides. And we are going to see the teams come to a hit here on point in the area between server as well as the main point. The team's just kind of vying for space right now. Kind of positioning, not really taking any aggressive stances quite yet, but as I say that, Beach going to go for a mad pin, however the pin will miss and going to get burned down because of it. Guffum now in the front lines, going to be getting hammered by Dark. going to be costly. Dark, however, will also fall. Both Ryans out of the picture for the time being. And with the kills now starting to go in favor of all three, they'll once again take point and get a commanding lead in this round.
Well, for the Reinhardt listeners at home, don't have a long charge. Like, when I say long charge, when you see a target like 50 meters away, don't charge it. The Ryan charge, in my personal opinion, is the worst ability ever created. It leaves you vulnerable. People can touch you, people can boop you. Not much you can do.
Indeed. Perhaps a little bit too aggressive, but we're going to be seeing the Ryan Shatter come out now, getting 3, I believe that was, onto the side of Ragnor. A very nice Shatter from Dark. It looks like just what the team needed. However, Dark will be falling to Boofum. Both Brigs going to be killing the Ryans. That will be a lot of staying power taken away from both teams. However, it will be all three walking away with the points still held firmly.
Well, that was definitely a big shatter. He got the 6-man shatter and he followed up well. But he gave his life for it. But in return, you got 5 kills. Fair enough.
Indeed, and as we see the ult starting to come online for ult 3, we're going to be seeing the Grav come out, as well as the Diva Bomb. They're going to be getting 3 kills off the back of it, plus the D-Mech. That is going to be extra grande there, folks. Very large. And with that, it's just going to be simple cleanup, and ult 3 getting the team kill and securing some progress. Perhaps a fat finger coming out of Lunaru.
I mean, that was... Oh, definitely. That was a textbook grab bomb there for Team Ragnor.
Very much so. And the Boop as well as Earth Shatter combo coming out from Dark and Stringy Place. The character we were told to be keeping an eye on, and the ults are going to be set up, and Beach going to be doing some massive cleanup here, swinging with that giant hammer, just getting some space and actually giving Ragnor a position onto point, and it's looking like it's going to go in their favor for the first time this round.
Well, good for them. I'm sorry. That was a good execution, definitely from Dark. Sorry, from Beach. Beach saw that the round was out of position and utilized the shots that he had on hand.
Indeed, and once again, it will be all three pushing onto point, trying to get some space, trying to regain that ult percentage. And with the Grav Earth Shatter combo, that is going to be some quick cleanup. Miss Nesbit actually getting 2 kills off the melee there. Kind of like to see that.
That is good night. Bye-bye. Congrats to the blue team here. Alt 3 definitely on the win.
Yeah, Alt 3 winning that last fight very convincingly. And overall, I think the numbers speak for themselves. Ragnor not looking off to a great start so far.
They definitely need to switch it up here. They now know that definitely a standard goat comp doesn't work, so they need to use like a variant that adds a DPS onto it to definitely help them win this fight. Or even a Junkrat, we'll see.
Absolutely. Now, Rag, as we get moving on here, there will, of course, be the hero saves and bans coming through, meaning that one hero will be banned on the side of Alt 3. What do you think Ragnor can pick to kind of give them that best advantage in terms of composition?
Well, unfortunately, I do not have access to the map pool. Could you please remind me what's coming up?
Sure thing, not a problem. So we just saw Li Zhang. That means there's 2 more King of the Hill maps. There's Busan and Ilios. And as for the escort maps, we do have Dorado and 66 in this map pool. We have Hanamura and Horizon. And then we have Eichenwald and Hollywood as our hybrids.
Okay, so it's an open map pool, I think, yeah?
Yes, it will. You cannot do 2 game types in a row, but you can play any map in any order aside from that.
Cool. So they have picked Hollywood here. We'll be seeing Hollywood. Well, Hollywood, I would definitely see a Torb. Not a joke. I would see a Torb with possibly a Torb variant of goats. Having it's like you secure a pick and then you just charge in, and using that 6v5 advantage, you kill the entire enemy team. On defense, of course. On attack. On attack, I'll definitely see some sort of goats, but definitely I would say that Team Ragnor should not run their goats composition, just because that their individual skills are not there yet compared to OWB2, so they'll definitely not win the matchup. For them, I would prescribe them a Fire Mercy sort of composition, just poking them down, making sure that they know that the Fire is there. Someone, they will definitely be low health, and when someone is low health, you can definitely just go in and kill them forehead.
Absolutely, kill them forehead. Easiest way to win team fights as far as I'm concerned. Just a reminder, the Zarya ban will be coming through, but that will only affect Alt-3, so they won't be able to use the Zarya for this map for Hollywood here. Might affect their goats comp a little bit, but we're going to have to see how they react to it as we get going. We're going to be hopping on to Hollywood here. And while we're in the interim, folks, just a quick reminder that if you see anybody you like, anybody you think is having some massive pop-off plays, don't forget to give them a vote in the MVP poll down there in the Twitch chat. We love to see it. The players love to see it. We love hearing your input, so feel free to drop a vote if you guys are seeing any particularly strong characters out there. Now, as we get moving, it's looking like for the time being, the sides are going to be the same, with Ragnor choosing to go on the offensive here. Or, I'm sorry, excuse me, Alt-3 choosing to be on the defensive, that is. And what do you think we should be keeping an eye out for, Rag?
Well, for here, I think that you should be keeping an eye out for Beach. I think he is definitely realizing how to play this Ryan matchup. He's figuring out how his matchup operates, and that'll definitely help them a lot. Knowing what the enemy will do before they even do it. It's like mind reading, my bro.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're able to get into the mind of the enemy, Ryan, it certainly helps get those shatters off a little bit cleaner. It helps win the shield war as well. A whole bunch of benefits there. But for the time being, the compositions that are rolling out right now, at least for the defense, looks like it is going to be a pharmacy combo.
Well, as you say that, that's exactly what I well, not exactly what I prescribe, but what I prescribe for the attacking team. But it will be interesting here, as it can go both ways if they do run that Fire Mercy matchup, because I've not seen the Fire Mercy skills before, so it will be quite interesting. Well, we do see Dark here going for that early Fire Strike, and okay.
Actually, the kill on the Spark, courtesy of what I can only assume is perhaps a little bit of pepper damage from maybe some supports in the damage boost by Mercy. But Spark absolutely want to be giving their life a little too early in this situation. And right now we are going to be seeing Mrs. Nesbit on that Pharah, just kind of raining some rockets into the choke here, just trying to perhaps do a little bit of pressuring onto the attacking team here. I'm going to be taking a little bit of a conservative angle, not getting too aggressive on top of those players. Dark hiding behind the cart, trying to maintain that defensive Ryan positioning as well. However, it will be Beach who is going to be falling out of the two Reinhardts. Nesbit going to be cleaning up the kills onto some of the support characters there, and it's going to be a hold from Alt-3.
That quick comp, that's not chop. They need to run something on Total Dogs here. I mean, it's win or lose.
Absolutely, I am sure that they will want to be getting some points on this board after Li Jiang here, but moving forward, Goofum trying to get a little bit of early damage with the McCree, peeling the angles, perhaps maybe a little bit too boldly, but who's to say, only the results. Beach lining up behind the choke, getting ready to just compile the team and push forward in what looks like one concerted effort. Beach going to be taking that corner turn. As the Fire Strike comes through from Dark, going to be eaten by TubeSock, and the Transcendence now going to be coming out from Stringy Place. However, the High Noon will be neutralized, not looking like it's going to be landing any shots. Not eaten by the DV either. Stringy Place going to be taking out their counterpart in Spark, and once again, it's going to be Alt-3 holding this point.
I did not know what Goofum was thinking when he pressed that Q for a Deadeye. His Ryan was already dead, it was a lost fight. They should be going back theoretically.
Yeah, it does look like the switch will be coming out initially onto the Hanzo, but after some debate, looks like Goofum will be going on to the Ashe, perhaps trying to get a little bit of distance between the DPS and the front line. And the sneaky shatter coming out from Dark, going to be getting a lot of people, and Nesbit going to be absolutely cleaning up on the back of it, getting 3 kills, including the DMEC, and that's going to be an easy team win, or an easy fight win for Alt-3.
for our economy's sake, I think that Nesbit just wasted it quite a bit, the barrage. I mean, it was already a win fight. They could have gotten a 6 kill either way. So maybe it'll get back onto him for Nesbit for his wasted barrage, I would say.
And we will have to see if they can build it back up as the fighting shall continue. Dark holding a forward position here right at the choke, going shield to shield with Beach. The Diva mech going to be coming out. Beach not even bothering to turn around to deflect that explosive blast from Raylini. However, it will be taking them out in due part for it. Dark going to be getting hit by the anti-nade, but not going to be doing much in terms of deterrent, as Mrs. Nesbit is going to be cleaning up once again.
I don't think they're out-tracking enough. If they do out-track, they would have baited that grab out, or baited that, obviously that Diva bomb out. I don't think they are properly... Sorry, not grab. just the Diva bomb. Oh, my brains.
And Dark going for what is sometimes referred to as the Narnia pin from way downtown. The sound barrier coming out from both sides. Dark not getting affected by it. Glizzy not quite within line of sight. As well, the Transcendence coming out. Stringy not going to be able to keep Dark up, and because of that, they will fall. However, Lunaru going to be having them in the pocket, having the res for them. Going to be taking out Unicorn Syrup with that Diva. And now the fight is slowly starting to get equalized here, but with Mrs. Nesbit getting that massive rocket barrage, it's looking like it will not be enough for the attacking team Ragnor here. And with that, it's going to be a full hold from Alt 3.
I do feel bad for Team Ragnor. I mean, oof, that was a hard push. They were definitely trying their best, and congrats to that. But I think that they need to definitely not run any goats variant no more. They need to run Sunny and Total Dogs, as I said before, to win this matchup. I mean, it's do or die here. They just need one tick. So definitely something to catch. Definitely the blue team Alt 3 off guard will contribute a lot to this win.
Absolutely, and it of course will be Alt 3 who has, I believe it's that 4 minutes to kind of experiment, play around with it. If they don't like the first comp, they can swap it out. But now Ragnor not necessarily going to have that liberty, so they really need to be confident in what they're running. But as we see the comps start to come out here, it looks like they may start to heed that advice. And we're going to be seeing the quad DPS comp come out right now, it seems, for the time being, on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's it might work, it might not, but hell, you have 4 minutes and 30 seconds to defend a one tick, so might as well. You never know if it's gonna work out or not. My team did a Mei strat that never worked out for the past couple of scrims, so they ran into an official, and it worked. They held for four fucking minutes, so you never know. Whatever happens, happens.
That is true, and that should be the motto that Ragnor are going to be clinging to right now. As we see the offensive comp coming here. Hammered on both sides, curiously enough. First time we were seeing him, I believe. No, I take that back. We did see him on Lijiang. First time we're going to be seeing him run on both sides anyway. And Glizzy going to be diving in very high, very deep. Going to be getting the ground pound onto 2 or 3 members, bringing a lot of them low. However, nobody really falling quite yet. That, as I say that, Goofum going to be taken out by Glizzy on that Hammond. And as Spark falls, the numbers are not starting to look confident for Ragnor. They really need to start pulling out some massive plays if they want to take this fight back. But with Unicorn Syrup falling, it does not look like it's going to go in their favor. Beach trying to maintain a presence on the point, not quite able to cling to as they get punched in the face by Glizzy's mechanical arm on that Hammond. And Spark not even able to get on the point. That is going to be Alt 3 taking it in a pretty quick fashion on offense.
Well, they need to target focus here. I felt like I was on the Soldier 76 point of view, and I felt like he was just shooting a target and not really shooting the target that they called to kill, and they just lost it way because of comms. I mean, they'll definitely get it right the second time, but when they look back at this VOD, just so they know that what's wrong with the comm structure that they have, it'll definitely improve that a lot.
Well, that is kind of the goal we have here. Help people get a little bit better at the game. We like seeing that kind of stuff. We like seeing improvement in our players. It makes for better games. It makes for a better tournament, if you ask me. But once again, it will be the hero save and ban, the hero save and ban, as well as the map ban phase. And it looks like Hanamura are going to be getting knocked out, so that will not be a possibility here for the next game, or for any games moving forward, should we have more than just 3. Lucio going to be saved on the side of Alt3. Do you think they ban the Zarya again, Rag?
Not really. To be honest, they've seen what they can do without the Zarya, and it is, one way to put it, terrorizing. So I don't think that the Zarya will be banned here. Instead, I'll definitely see the Ryan. The Ryan will definitely be banned, because we've seen in Goats Comp, the shield tank plays a massive part of Goats. And as you know, the win percentage, if you take out a Rig, if you take out a D.Va, if you take out, I don't know, a Zen, compared to taking out a Ryan, the team that got taken out with all the heroes except Ryan will definitely win. That's how crucial Ryan is with the shield.
Certainly something Team Ragnor might want to consider, thumb over in their mind. However, it looks like, regardless, they will be choosing to ban Zen, and Dorado is going to be the pick for map here. And interesting choice. We usually don't see supports banned a whole lot unless one team neglects to save Lucio, in which case almost instantly banned.
They can pick Ana, they can pick Moira, they can pick Lucio. I don't really know what the purpose of the Zen pick was, but we'll definitely see. It might work out with their strat that they are gonna run, but I don't think that the Zen ban's gonna affect Alt3 that much as Team Ragnor would think, but we'll have to see what their strat is and how it works around the Zen pick.
Yeah, and worth noting for the folks at home, Alt3 now going to be on the red side, Alt3 going to be on the right in red, and likewise Team Ragnor going to be swapping sides, going on to the left. They are going to be defense on this first round, so we will see if that shakes things up perhaps a little bit, but Alt3 going to be having the first offensive crack here on Dorado.
Well, Alt3 here on the offense for Dorado. It's that they're 2-0 up, just to remind people at home that they're 2-0 up. Before this, they were smashing the maps, holding them, holding them on Hollywood, so they must be feeling pretty confident, I would say. But
yeah, I would agree.
Let's see what they pick here. Well, this Nesbit here, they might go for that quad DPS comp when their Zen's out, but we'll have to see. We'll have to keep quiet like a golf commentary. So when they,
and you can see the picks are going to be coming out.
Yes, when they pick their hero, they need to talk about the strats. So we need to keep it quiet here. Well, as you say that, they run out with that goats comp. Well, I don't know what we're thinking here back at Team Ragnor. They run out that, okay. Not goats comp, sorry. I was not looking at the top left corner. They ran an Ashe variant, but we don't see that Lucio here. That is okay. They've come to play, I would say. Running that unorthodox comp. Well, we'll see what the plan is here.
Yeah, going to be a lot of dive potential from the tanks on Alt3, but we will see how things shake out as they get going here. Alt3 going to be rushing out, getting onto cart in a pretty standard fashion here. Going to be seeing Dark taking a little bit of high ground, however, getting hit by the dynamite from the Ashe. However, with Lunaru on that Ana, going to be healing them up in short order. Not that big of a deal quite yet. Glizzy also going to be taking dynamite to the face. A lot of dynamite being thrown onto Alt3. And we can see the ult charge already being built up pretty strongly on Goofum right here. But Mrs. Nesbit going to be getting the first confirmed kill of this fight. To make it a second as well, these supports are dropping like flies. So many times we've seen Widows get aggressive onto these support characters. And now it is just 4 members left standing for the defensive team. But as Beach falls, that's going to be trimming down to 3. TubeSock trying desperately to get out, not quite able to, as Stringy Place going to be finishing them off with the boop. And this has been a pretty convincing first point for Alt3.
Well, at the start there, I would see Dark having 20 HP, 1 punch, and if this was my team, they would have gotten excited and say, Winston, no jump, let's go fuck him up. And I don't think that happened there. They just held still, and guess what? If you hold still, people are gonna come in and eat you up.
Absolutely, and speaking of being eaten up, we're going to see Spark dropped by a headshot from Mrs. Nesbit, quickly followed by Goofum. Glizzy not going to be letting Nesbit be the only sniper getting kills, going to be taking out Beach, and we are going to be seeing some massive aggression coming out of Alt3, pretty much driving the defense back to spawn right now. We can see Dark here in the very far back, in the way back as it is. Going to be pressured, taking an on a nade, a little bit dangerous of a spot. Stringy Place, however, not deterred, getting the kill onto Unicorn Syrup. However, it looks like they will start to stabilize as Dark falls, but it's still been quite a lot of progress for Alt3.
I mean, congrats to Goofum there for getting those picks, those 2 crucial picks. Right now, they need to definitely pressure up on spawn, because they need to acknowledge that 2 people are down, and they do have the numbers advantage.
We will see how it shakes out here. However, the nano boost going to be dropped onto Dark. The Bob coming out, however, going to be slept in short order. Spark taking out Mrs. Nesbit this time around, not allowing for that sniper duel to go uncontested. Goofum going to be getting a couple kills here thanks to Bob as well as the Dynamite. And for the first time this map, it's looking like Alt3 going to be repelled quite a bit.
I mean, it's good. They got those picks. They acknowledged it, they killed those targets, but right now they need to worry that, you know, Alt3 has that out advantage, so how are we gonna bait those out? They should be asking themselves.
And as we see the infra sites come online, we might see exactly how they plan to do that. It is going to be Dark diving onto Goofum, however, not quite getting the kills, and Raylini going to be taking out 3 with that Diva Bomb. Absolutely massive. There will be 1 from each role, tank, healer, and DPS down for the time being. And with that, it's going to be a quick take onto the second point by Alt3.
That was beautiful, to say the least.
Indeed, and in typical fashion, we are going to be seeing Alt3 get quite aggressive here. Dark hopping into the backline and popping Primal just to stay up and perhaps disrupt the lines here just a little bit. Going to be pushing into spawn, really just trying to bully Beach on that Reinhardt. However, it will be Glizzy who ends up getting the kill, and now they're just going to continue to bully the entrance from Team Ragnor's spawn.
Well, right here, they do have a Graviton Surge, they do have a Nano Boost, so I would see that they would grab and then Nano the Rhine, and if it doesn't work, the Rhine will shatter. We'll see this execution right here and now.
Absolutely, TubeStock getting brought dangerously low, and the Earth Shatter will be coming through, only landing onto Dark, however, will not be brought down thanks to the Lucio sound barrier from Stringy as well. Miss Nesbit going to be popping those sights. The Zarya grab only catching Stringy. However, it might just be enough. It might be the shot in the arm that Ragnor is going to be needing to win this fight. However, with the nano boost going onto Dark, they will be hopping onto point, trying to get as much cleave damage with that Tesla cannon as possible. And not really netting any kills quite yet. Miss Nesbit, however, going to be equalizing with the kill onto Goofum. But Spark quickly shredding to Dark in the rhyming scheme of the century. And right now we have dueling snipers. Goofum going to be doing some self-damage with that Dynamite. However, Bob's both coming out, I believe, kind of just shooting at one another, not really getting any value for either team. That being said, it is going to be taking out Spark on that Reaper, who is now going to have Death Blossom. And it's once again going to be Alt3 repelled, at least for a brief moment.
Well, definitely, Team Ragnor needs to know that they got that one pick. They need to push up and get those other picks, or else they're not going to win the fight. The other pick's going to come back and 6v6 them. And we know how that's going to end up.
Absolutely, and as we see it, Dark going to be popping that Primal, already brought down to half health. Quite crucial, however, is buying the team the space they need. TubeSock trying to contest, however, Nesbit really preventing anybody from being effective on point, taking heads left and right. The Death Blossom coming out from Spark, not going to be netting any utility in terms of damage and specifically kills. However, Beach once again getting very aggressive with this charge, going to be eaten that Fire Strike by Raylini. And for the time being, it's going to be Alt3 backing off once again.
You know that shy girl in the corner of the classroom, and that shy girl I feel like the shy girl is definitely, you know, Team Ragnor here. They got given a candy, but then they're not following the stranger.
Well, as we get moving here, perhaps we will see them get a bit more aggressive. Beach playing around the cart a little bit, keeping the shield up. And Goofum going to be getting a sticky onto Glizzy, taking down that one member early. And now the kills starting to even out. However, Toobsock taking out Mrs. Nesbit. That will be a large amount of DPS taken out of the Goats comp. And it looks like they will realize that and start to pull back a little bit.
Okay. Well, you know, for the listeners back at home, to teach you guys a bit, we need to switch that mentality a bit. If you do get that 1 pick, 2 pick, we need to switch from the defense mentality to a attacking mentality, which means being more aggressive, taking more risks. So because you already have that numbers advantage.
The hammer down, the Earth Shatter coming out from Beach, going to be netting a few, but not quite enough. Lunaru actually taking out Beach. The Nano Boost going to be going on to Dark in quick order. However, it looks like Toobsock going to be very highly charged on that Zarya, not quite able to follow up with any kills. And Dark getting the Earth Shatter, as well as the pin onto Spark. This may be the turnaround that Alt3 has been needing. And so far, this defense has been the most equal we've seen both of these teams look so far.
Oh, a Diva Bomb. And it gets... Oh, beautiful execution. It does get Team Sock there. It was a perfect execution there by Ray.
Indeed, now it will be on Team Ragnor to attack if they want to make it to multiple rounds, which they will need to get some points on the board. Then they'll have to complete, ideally with more time than Alt3 really kind of held themselves to. Now, Rag, how likely do you think that is?
Well, it is very highly likely, as you know, Overwatch is like any other sport, any other game. You never know what's gonna happen. Alt3 might actually, you know, underestimate Team Ragnor and go for something nutty that they would think are nutty in their mind, but actually it is not. So, you know, looking at the time bank, 22 seconds, we need to keep a close eye on that if they do get to round number 3. 22 seconds, not a lot. So if, you know, Team Alt3 does get that 1 minute time bank, it is going to be a show to watch because they do have that advantage to stay calm, relax, you know, just having that leisure time to fuck around. Well, here we come with that Bastion strat. It just might be early poke damage here. Okay, we're sticking with the Bastion. Protect the President.
It seems so. The El Presidente method here, as it's going to be Guffum setting up quite early onto the cart, not quite able to get any angles, and we're going to be seeing Alt3 getting very aggressive onto this hold, not taking place in that usual high ground that we tend to see from many teams, but instead going to be holding right before the first turn here. Going to be backing off just a little bit for the cart to get rotated. They definitely do not look like they want to get Goofum get set up, but in a very early Earth Shatter coming out from Dark, the massive swings coming through, building up that ult so fast, and Spark as well going to be falling. That Roadhog has to be very careful not to give a lot of ult charge to the enemy.
That was beautiful, beautiful execution of Shatter there by Dark. He saw an opportunity and took it, but I did not know how he got that Shatter down. People needed to focus on that Ryan so that doesn't happen, or have like the shield rotated. That's why you have 2 shields, people. The Orisa can protect the front, and the Ryan can protect the back.
Indeed, Beach almost going for the Shatter, not going to be landing it. However, the grab as well as the Coalescence coming out from the defensive side. Toobsock going to be getting that Nano, however, not looking like they're going to net any utility. And the Bastion tank configuration going to be coming out, laying some shells into Mrs. Nesbit, however, not quite able to close them. The kill, that is. However, they will be buying a little bit of space. It looks like all three will be letting up for the time being. However, as the rotation is going to be coming through, a nice sleep dart onto Dark that is going to be very crucial. Well played by Jaxcast. The Earth Shatter coming out, though, going to be landing all 6, it looked like. Goofum going to be the last one standing, however, will fall in quick order with the rest of the team.
Oh, headache there. Dark just swing his hammer 360. Too fast for my brain to process. Well, that Grav and Coalescence, right now they only have a barrier, sound barrier, so I would see, you know, out 3 being aggressive with that sound barrier, beat to engage, I would say. But then you have to be careful with the beaches, shatter, so you just have to put the shield up for it. It all will be fine.
Yeah, keep an eye on Stringy Place. We'll be looking to drop that sound barrier in this fight, I would imagine. The Diva grab bomb combo coming out. Going to be netting 2, but Glizzy not even giving the bomb a chance to kill 4, as they're going to be cleaning up Beach and Goofum. And once again, what can you say? But it's looking like another hold for all 3.
It does look like a full hold, like they're just giving 1 choke. But I mean, it might be a secret plan for Team Ragnor, you know, pull out all the ults and then we can fuck them up.
Indeed, we're going to be seeing Goofum take a little bit of an off angle here with that Pharah playing off to the side. Dark getting shielded, or getting that Earth Shatter shielded rather, and the return Shatter coming in from Beach. Going to be getting a couple in the back end, not quite closing any kills until the Fire Strike comes through, and Spark going to be switching onto that McCree, taking out Mrs. Nesbit. And it looks like it will just be a few players left standing for all 3. And now the tables are starting to turn, at least slightly, for Team Ragnor.
Yeah, I mean, that was a definitely good execution coming out here from, you know, Jackcast, recognizing that Beach has the potential for a 5k with everybody surrounding him, and his big hammer does swing into all of them. It's definitely good, but we have to watch out for...
We are going to be seeing that high nude from Spark come out onto the payload, just perhaps to buy a little bit of space and ensure that last point, or that last few meters of capture progress. And now we're going to be seeing, it looks like we were almost going to be seeing some aggression come out of Ragnor from the tanks, that Zarya, as well as the Rhine Pharah. Mercy coming forward a little bit, but we're going to be backing off, recollecting onto Carp. We're going to be seeing the rally come out from Glizzy, giving everybody that nice armor to top everybody up. Beach going to be extracting with a charge. And for the time being, it looks like they're going to forego having any members on point on the offensive side of Ragnor. And Beach playing around the cart right now, but being kind of put in a tough spot. The Coalescence going to be coming out from Lunaru, keeping all those members alive. Jaxcast actually getting the first kill onto Glizzy. Very crucial. And the Nano Boost now going to be coming out onto Beach and going to be swinging massively. However, it will be Dark who gets the hammer down. Not going to be landing any knocks, though, as Goofum able to kill everybody with that Rocket Barrage.
That was beautiful, beautiful execution here coming out from Team Ragnor. Keep this up, guys. Be more aggressive, be more assertive, and remember, ult track is crucial.
Indeed, speaking of ults, there are a few online we might want to keep an eye out here for. Beach trying to go for the back shatter, not quite landing it. Going to be stunned, however, the Zarya bubble will be keeping them up. Spark, however, not so lucky, trying to go for that dead eye, going to be cleaned up by Raylini. And the shatter once, or the stun once again going onto the Rhine, but with the 2 tanks getting cleaned up in the grab, it will just be Jaxcast to get killed by that Diva bomb. And we're going to be seeing the rest of Team Ragnor pull back just a little bit, perhaps to get regrouped with their team.
Well, if you guys do notice here, every single time that Team Ragnor won the fight, the Rhine was nanoed. So we just have to wait for Jaxcast to get back his nano and win the fight for them. 50%. So close, yet so far.
Indeed, as well, Stringy going to be having that sound barrier online. The Coalescence coming out from Lunaru, going to be burning down Beach. Goofum looking like they took themselves out with a couple of misplaced rockets. Unicorn Syrup taken out by a headshot courtesy of Mrs. Nesbit. Smart going to be getting chased down, looking like they may be the last person to possibly contest, but it looks like there will be nobody on the beaches to contest for Ragnor, and in fact, it's going to be alt3 taking the map as well as the series.
I mean, that was a good effort. Definitely a great end to a one-sided match for alt3 against Team Ragnor. As you see here, how did the Rhine get through? Nobody knows. How did the Rhine not block that? No one knows.
Indeed. Some solid tank play coming out from Dark, really utilizing those perhaps weaknesses in the defending Team Ragnor's lineups there. But that being said, it will be alt3 taking the series, meaning that they will be moving on, and we're going to be holding on for just a second to see if we were going to be having anybody come in, pop in, and have a few words with us, just a few questions about how they felt the game went, you know, things from their angle. And it looks like it might be Mrs. Nesbitt coming in. But overall, Rag, what did you like about that game in particular? There seemed like there were a lot of times where you thought that there was some really good execution and some execution to be desired.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time it was a good execution there. I think the Zarya Graviton Surges needed some work. They need to, you know, make sure that it doesn't get eaten. We can stick it to a cart, for example, to the wall, the corner. And the barrages there from both teams was, simply put, beautiful. If you remember there from Hollywood, the execution there from the Afara, it was so amazing. They got the 4K, if I remember correctly, and then again on the Dorado as well, on the second point. Right when they got the second point, a few seconds later, they get that barrage. And again, it was so beautiful. I mean, everybody needs to keep an eye on this Farah. He might go far into the Watchers Brawl next season.
Absolutely. And with that being said, before we move on to the post-game interview, folks, I do want to remind you, get your last-minute votes in for the MVP of the match. You definitely want to show the players that support. Let them know who you think was really popping off this game. But in the meantime, we are going to be having the one, the only Mrs. Nesbitt in chat. Mrs. Nesbitt, you want to go ahead and say hello to the people?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going well. First of all, just congratulations on the last game, on winning that basically at a 3-0. How you guys feeling?
We're feeling really good about ourselves right now.
I would certainly imagine so. If I'm not mistaken, they were saying that there was a little bit of a controller or I think it was controller issues on you guys' end at the beginning of the day.
Yes, our Flex DPS, Glizzy, plays with a controller, but he was having issues with it last scrim, so we had him move to a Wiimote.
Interesting. Not quite sure how you play with a Wiimote, but you love to see it. You love to hear it. Taking those wins, however you got to get them. Now, what do you, in your opinion, Mrs. Nesbitt, do you think was kind of the strongest aspect you saw out of your team here today?
Oh, definitely Glizzy's Brigitte. I know he's not using his controller, but he's an amazing player. I love him.
Absolutely. I think there was a time where I saw a Grav go out, and it looked like the setup was for a Diva bomb, but Glizzy cleaning up 2 kills before the bomb even went off in the Grav, kind of leaving... I believe it was Ray Leany, kind of just out to dry, just getting 2 kills off the Diva bomb as opposed to the massive quads that you like to see if you're the Diva in the kill feeds. But do you guys have any plans moving forward? Do you have any specific? You don't have to give away all your team secrets or whatever, but looking forward, do you guys have you guys seen any ways in which you might be able to improve from this game?
Most definitely, yes. I won't go into details, but I do think we can work.
Well, fantastic. I know that I was talking with Rag a little bit earlier about how we like seeing our players kind of improve, get better. And, you know, if for no other reason than if they join us the next month, it adds for a little bit better Overwatch gameplay. But yeah, I guess very much so. Congratulations. And once again, you guys did very well on your win over Team Ragnor. We look forward to seeing you guys in the next game.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Nesbitt, you have a good night, and we'll see you on the next game.
Have a good one, guys.
Fantastic. And with that being said, we are about to sign off here, folks. But before we do have the MVP votes in as it is, and it's looking like your MVP for this game is going to be Lunaru. So very much so, congratulations to Lunaru winning that MVP vote. You like to see it. I believe that was the support player for all three, if I'm not mistaken. You like to see it. And overall, I think that the results kind of show that, you know, you definitely have to give credit where it's due. All three looking very strong in these kinds of games. But yeah, overall, much congratulations to Lunaru as well as all three. That will be it, at least for the time being. We will have another game here in about an hour, so make sure to catch it. But for your casting entertainment, I have been Sir Waltham. You can catch me on Twitter, Sir Waltham Gaming, or on Twitch, Sir Waltham.
And I am Ragnor. You can find me on all social media, all mainstream social media platforms at Ragnor OCE. It was fun casting with you, Sir Waltham. Have a great night.
Absolutely. And to all of our viewers, you guys have a great night as well, and be sure to stay safe. Thanks for watching.